Hey everyone, this is Light, and in this series I'm going to be going over common matchups that people ask me about all the time. And in this video we're going to be going over how to fight Peira cleavers slash aggro players as a turn 2 player with no speed. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to be using a tool from our friends over at Cecilia Bot. It's a very cool drafting simulator thing, and it has basically everything we're going to need. So let's set the pre-ban. So we are the turn 2 player on the left side, and we're going to slot in Luna. Oh, sorry, we're gonna slot in Luna in the pre-ban I meant. Right, there we go. And then we're going to slot in Emerald Poly. I don't like these units, they don't let you play the game. Strippers are very OP, and my playstyle is centered around Young Senya, so we need to get rid of both of her biggest counters. So and then for the cleaver slash aggro player, of course they're gonna pre-ban Harsetti, and let's imagine they pre-ban Zio. So when the pre-bans are like this, I like to always prioritize the fire flan. This can be a DDR. It does kind of come down to preference, but I will take the flan because I feel that I can deal with the DDR. So yeah, we're gonna take the flan, and so now we're gonna pick the units for the aggro player. So you're an aggro player, so you see flan. Usually people's first instinct is to just slam Eligos. Eligos is hot stuff right now for people. I don't know why. On paper he counters flan, but we have ways of dealing with him. So this guy strips 2 buffs, and then he also reduces flan's focus, which on paper counters are pretty hard. But we have immunity flan. If you want to be a turn 2 player, you need immunity on everything, you better get used to it. So then we're going to respond to this with Little Senya. And our Little Senya is going to be like 260 speed, she's the fastest on the team right now. And she has immunity, of course. Everything we pick will have immunity. And you might be thinking, Little Senya is also weak to Eligos, so why do we pick Little Senya? Well, Eligos is a single target, right? Which means we can confuse this guy by giving him more targets to hit. And the strongest turn 2 combination right now is... Oh, wait, whoops. Okay, I did not mean to replace him. And the strongest turn 2 combination right now is Young Senya plus Albedo, because this gives you insane mitigation in every way. And it stops the other person from picking AoE units because they're gonna proc Senya and then die. The only AoE unit they could possibly pick is Monk. So yeah, we're gonna lock that in, and then so for the other side, they almost always lock in BBK, and they also tend to pick DDR too. So now what we want to do, right? We want to... This is where we start dealing with like his actual units. So we pick our core, but we're not actually countering anything with this, right? So the magic happens in our late picks because we want to secure this, and then we deal with his drafts in our late picks. And the best unit here is Candy. So we have a protection Aureus Albedo. So that means our Flan already has a shield and immunity from her immunity set. And then Candy will give her anti-crit. That means we have 3 buffs. We have shield, anti-crit, immunity in that order. Eligos strips 2. So Eligos will not be able to strip Flan's immunity, which means he won't be able to defense break her, which is huge. If he can't defense break, this guy will not be able to get a kill, which is huge. Although there is the off chance if an Eligos has a lot of damage and he crits, he will break the shield and then defense break Flan. But the chances of actually defense breaking Flan are very, very low. So we don't really worry about that. It's like this is probably like an 70-80% chance in our favor. Also it depends how tanky your Flan is. Mine's very tanky. Mine's like 1300 defense, 15k HP. So yeah. We use Candy, and then aside from just like countering the Eligos really hard, we also counter the DDR. Because DDR is also a 2 buff strip, so Eligos won't be able to defense break our flan, and DDR won't be able to sleep our units. So Candy super strong pick here, and then we'll also go Dilly Bet. So now, Dilly Bet is really good because the turn order is presumably Peira, Ellie Ghost, DDR. Dilly Bet is gonna cut that. Dilly Bet will cut that, and she's gonna take a turn before BBK does. Which means we'll be able to cleanse off the defense break in the case that Candy is banned, and we'll also be able to cleanse all the sleeps too. So that's very good. And then their last pick is gonna be Knockwall. And per drafting convention, when we're first pick, we always play to ban last pick. Unless in very dire conditions. So yeah, we ban the Knockwall, and then he's only gonna ban either of these. So yeah, if he bans Candy, Dillybet will cleanse and then kill him. If he bans Dillybet, Candy will prevent him from landing all his debuffs. So yeah, very, it's gonna be a very clean game basically. So yeah, and that's about it for this kind of draft. So now, what if we're on the other side and we're not first pick? What if we're on the other side and we are not first pick? Let's reset this. And then we're gonna imagine the pre-bans are the same. So let's say this guy is first pick and he's gonna slam his Peira because all the aggro players are contesting Peira right now. He's gonna slam his Peira. Right, and then we're gonna respond with the same thing. We're gonna take Flan. And we're gonna take the Little Senya because the core of our draft is Little Senya plus Albedo because again they give you the most coverage out of anything. And then yada yada. People are obsessed with Ellie Ghost. They're gonna slam Ellie Ghost BBK. Right, and then we're of course going to slam our Albedo and trusty Albedo, the best combo ever. And then we're going to. So this position is really hard. I've been in this position quite a bit, but I must say that Candy is overall the best pick here. So like Candy is gonna prevent the DDR, but he will guaranteed pick Knockwall. But the thing is, what is there left to pick here for this guy? Because the Candy puts him in check, right? There's only one Knockwall in the game, and like Mort's not a very good pick here because it doesn't matter if Candy counters or not. So yeah, we're putting him in quite the pickle because what is there to pick realistically? What can this guy do to aggro you down? It's a pretty tough question, to be honest. So yeah. It puts him in a very bad spot because like he doesn't want to pick DTR. And okay, let's say he says screw the Candy anti-crit. Let's pick Gala. Gala's pretty popular. So now what do we do against this? What do we do against this? We have to respond to the LA Ghost defense break, and best way to do that typically with Dilly Bet. And then we will always ban the Knockwall. And then it's honestly pretty hard because Gala is quite bad against Albedo because Albedo is way too tanky for Gala. Like unless this Gala is cracked out of his mind, it's not gonna be able to proc on the Albedo. And even if it does, it's not gonna do enough damage, right? And like if they ban Candy, Ellie goes lands a defense break. No. The Dilly Bet is just gonna cut before anything major happens. So yeah, this is how I would play if I was second pick. And yeah, honestly, I feel like there's really not much better than Candy here. So yeah, pretty standard draft scenario. But let's mix it up a bit. Let's say this aggro player pre-banned Flan. So let's reset this. Let's say this aggro player pre-banned Flan, and you're the one picking DDR. You're the one picking DDR. He wants to murder you, right? He's gonna slam his stupid Peira, and a lot of people will pick what's her face, Veronica BBK. Veronica BBK is like the Emperor special. And we're not gonna really care about them. We're gonna slam the Little Senya and Albedo because they are our core picks that give us the most coverage, of course. And then he's gonna go, let's say he goes BBK. Let's say he goes BBK, and let's say he goes Ellie Ghost so you can shoot the Little Senya. It's a stopper passive, all hunky dory. So again, we just go Candy. Candy will prevent the Veronica because Veronica is a double strip, the same as Ellie Ghost. So we have immunity on every unit. We have a shield. We have the Candy protection. Right. So we'll be resistant to both of these units. And then we can end our draft off with basically whatever we want. Basically, we need something to interrupt the defense breakers, and best thing is either Dilly Bet or we can go Emoken. Emoken is a very funny unit. So I have an Emoken tech where you build Emoken with 100% crit chance and at least 12,000 MCD. You don't need pen set, but he will have immunity set. And the thing is, if you build Ken with crit chance, that means his basic counterattack, which doesn't normally crit, will crit, and it will be able to one-shot both Veronica and Ellie Ghost. So like, Veronica presses S3, she dies. She won't be able to get this done. Ellie Ghost presses S3, he dies. He won't be able to get the briefcase off, and then you kind of win from that. So yeah, in this spot, a teched up Emoken is very, very strong. Or you can just pick Dilly Bet. Up to you. Up to you. You also have to make sure your Dilly Bet is fast enough to cut though, because if she doesn't take the turn to fix the defense breaks before BBK goes, you are in a pickle. So yeah, Emoken very good here. But also, Dilly Bet is actually not the best pick here because let's imagine this. Let's imagine that Peira goes first, and then Ellie goes, and also Candy's banned, right? So Ellie goes, right? And then he doesn't S3, he just S1s instead. And then Veronica goes, Veronica defense breaks, and then S1s, but Dilly Bet will not proc. She will be at 9 out of 10. Dilly Bet will not proc, and then BBK takes the turn, and then you have a chance of dying. Which is not ideal, however, BBK without attack buff should not be able to kill anybody here, and then you're gonna win anyway. But to avoid that potential mishap, we can just pick Emoken. Either way, you have a very high win rate with whatever you pick. Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay, I started messing around too much. I think I broke it. But yeah, either way, that's how it goes. So yeah, Candy very, very strong. Dilly Bet very, very strong. Senya Albedo is the core. So yeah, let's reset this. Oh dear, I broke it. Okay, let's just refresh the page. But yeah, that's a very, very typical draft. I will probably say that is the hardest draft state because yes, let's be honest, not everyone on the ladder is going to be playing perfectly optimal. I pretty much gave an example with really good drafting from the other side. But let's say you're lower ranked and people kind of pick like random whatever stuff, right? Let's say you're still gonna pick the Flan. Okay, wait. So let's say you're really low ranked and you pick the Flan, And a really popular combo is Hua plus Archdemon. I despise this combo. I think it's very bad. I think Archdemon is just bad in general, and Hua against non-light units is pretty bad. But this is a very popular combo for some reason. I see it quite a bit still. And then we're gonna respond, you know, very naturally. We're just gonna go Senya Albedo. And this guy is gonna go like Eligos on 3 or something, right? Very, very, very generic. And then of course he won't be able to help himself from picking Peira, yada yada. And it's just standard procedure. We see Eligos. We're all immunity. It's time to buff stack, so let's slam Candy. Alright, let's just slam Candy. What's the worst that could happen? And then we do need another damage dealer, and of course we need another damage dealer slash cleanser, and of course the cleanser of choice is Dillibat. Dillibat is always really strong against these cleaves. So yeah, we have immunity on everything, and the bad thing about Archdemon, what's gonna happen here is, right, yada yada, he picks Knockwall, we ban the Knockwall. So again, what's gonna happen here is, sure, let's say he bans Dillibat, and Eligos is gonna shoot the Flan, get rid of her buffs, right? Gets rid of her focus, and then like she's not defense broken or anything, and Archdemon's gonna hit her, and then it's gonna drag this thing, and then it's gonna be like 50-50 into the crit, yada yada. But the thing is, nothing is happening to the rest of your team, so even if Flan dies, you're just gonna beat them up anyway. And eventually little Senya will proc, and then it's gonna blow up his team, and then yeah, he's kind of just dead. Basically, as long as you buff stack with Candy, Eligos should not be a problem. But there will be a rare case where Eligos will crit your Flan and then do enough damage to break her shield. And then you get defense broken and then you die. But it's not the end of the world. Even if you die, you can still win games. So yeah, if you ever encounter a draft like this, just slam Candy, just slam Senya Albedo, and buff stack. But most importantly, you need to have immunity on everything if you want to fight against this. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Like, it's sad. Like, you probably farmed Golem, you probably farmed a lot of HP sets, and now you can't really use them competitively anymore. But what can you do? That's just how the game is changing. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. And it's really simple. I will always pick Young Senya and Albedo against any aggro player. Because it's just that good. It's just that good. But anyway, thank you for watching. Hope it was helpful. I will catch you guys next time. Perhaps the next episode will be Chenille versus DDR. But anyway, have a good night. See you.